Evelyn's late-night work event hides a shocking secret. Lucas overhears her plan with her boss, Ethan, and sets a trap to expose their betrayal. Will his calculated revenge destroy their marriage, or save his future? Lucas thought tonight's dinner would mend the growing distance between him and Evelyn. But when she casually mentions a private meeting with her boss, Ethan, his gut twists. A glimpse at her phone reveals flirty texts and a hotel plan. Betrayed, Lucas plants a recorder in her purse, determined to uncover the truth. Will this shatter their marriage, or will his calculated response reclaim his future? Lucas tapped the wooden spoon against the edge of the pot, the aroma of garlic and rosemary filling their Seattle apartment. He'd spent the last hour perfecting a creamy mushroom risotto, a dish Evelyn always loved. At 32, he was no chef, but as a software engineer, he approached cooking like coding, precise, methodical, rewarding. Tonight felt special. Their 5-year marriage had hit a quiet patch, routine creeping in like static on a screen. He hoped this dinner would hit the reset button. Evelyn pushed through the door at 6:47 p.m., her heels clicking on the hardwood. "Smells amazing," she called, dropping her bag by the couch. At 30, she was a marketing exec climbing the ranks at a sleek downtown firm. Her ambition had always drawn Lucas in, her drive a spark that matched his own. She flashed a tired but genuine smile, and his chest warmed. Maybe they'd find their rhythm again tonight. "Risotto's almost ready," Lucas said, stirring the pot. "Rough day," she sighed, sinking into a chair at the small dining table. "Long but good. Big things happening at work." Her voice carried a lilt, like she was holding back a secret. Lucas raised an eyebrow, waiting for more, but she just sipped her water and scrolled through her phone. He served the risotto, the plates steaming as he sat across from her. The first few bites passed in comfortable silence, the kind that comes with years of familiarity. Then Evelyn set her fork down, her eyes brightening. "There's a promotion opening up. Senior marketing director. Ethan's leading the decision." Lucas nodded, impressed. Ethan was her boss, a name that popped up often. Confident, charming, the kind of guy who commanded boardrooms. "That's huge, Ev. You going for it?" "Definitely," she said, her tone sharp with determination. "It's a game changer. More responsibility, better pay. I'd be set." He grinned, proud. "You've got this. You always do." Her smile flickered, just for a second, like a glitch in a video feed. She picked up her fork again, poking at the risotto. "Ethan's particular about who he picks. Says he wants someone who can play the game." Lucas paused, fork halfway to his mouth. "Play the game? What's that mean?" She shrugged, too quick. Office politics. Building trust, showing commitment." Her eyes darted to her phone, then back to him. "It's just work stuff." Something in her voice didn't land right, like a note slightly off-key. Lucas let it go, chalking it up to her being tired. They finished dinner, chatting about lighter things, her coworker's bad coffee obsession, his latest coding project. But as he cleared the plates, that flicker in her smile stuck with him, nagging like a bug in his code. Later, as Evelyn showered, her phone buzzed on the counter. Lucas glanced at it, not thinking much, until he saw the notification. A text from Ethan, Friday, 8 p.m., Fairmont. "Don't be late." His stomach nodded. He tapped the screen, her phone still unlocked from earlier. The message thread was short, but damning. Ethan's texts were flirty, suggestive. "Can't wait to see you out of that blazer." Evelyn's replies were coy but encouraging. "Only if you make it worth my while." The final message confirmed a hotel booking at the Fairmont, room 1407, under her name. Lucas's hands shook as he set the phone down. His mind raced, piecing it together. Her evasive tone, the game she mentioned. This wasn't ambition. This was betrayal. He stood frozen, the sound of the shower fading into white noise. Anger surged, but he pushed it down. He needed proof, not assumptions. He needed a plan. By the time Evelyn stepped out, wrapped in a towel, Lucas was back at the sink, scrubbing dishes, his face neutral. "You okay?" she asked, tilting her head. "Just tired," he lied, forcing a smile. "Big day tomorrow." She nodded, oblivious, and headed to bed. Lucas waited until her breathing steadied, then slipped into his home office. He pulled a small audio recorder from his desk, a tiny device he'd used for debugging client calls. It was discreet, battery-powered, and could stream live to his phone. He tested it, the faint hum of the apartment coming through clear. Perfect. The next morning, as Evelyn rushed out for work, Lucas slipped the recorder into the inner pocket of her purse. She didn't notice, grabbing her bag and pecking his cheek. "Busy day," she said, already halfway out the door. "Love you." "Love you too," he replied, his voice steady but hollow. As the door clicked shut, he opened the app on his phone, the recorder's feed live. Her footsteps echoed, then the hum of her car. He leaned back, jaw tight, ready to hear the truth whatever it cost. Lucas's recorder hums in Evelyn's purse, capturing every word as she schemes with her boss, Ethan, for a promotion that could cost her marriage. The audio confirms her betrayal, but Lucas isn't ready to confront her yet. He reaches out to Ethan's wife, Mia, forging an alliance to expose the affair. As the hotel meeting looms, will their plan unravel the lies, or will Evelyn's ambition outsmart them both? Lucas sat at his desk, the glow of his laptop screen casting sharp shadows. The tiny recorder in Evelyn's purse was his eyes and ears now, streaming every sound to his phone. It was 9:12 a.m., and Evelyn's voice crackled through his earbuds. Her usual morning chatter with coworkers, the clink of coffee mugs, the hum of the office printer. Lucas, a software engineer used to debugging complex systems, now debugged his own life, hunting for the truth. The audio shifted. Footsteps, a door closing, and then Ethan's voice, smooth and commanding. "Got a minute, Ev?" "Sure," Evelyn replied, her tone clipped but warm. Lucas's grip tightened on his phone. He heard a chair scrape. Ethan settling close, too close. "Friday's still on, right?" Ethan asked, his voice low. "Fairmont, 8 p.m. Room 1407. Evelyn's pause was brief, calculated. "Booked it yesterday. We're set." Lucas's pulse quickened. He leaned forward, every word a knife. Ethan chuckled. "This is your ticket, Ev. Play this right, and that promotion's yours. We both win." "It's strategic," Evelyn said, her voice steady, like she was pitching a campaign. "One night, no strings. I'm tired of watching others climb while I'm stuck." "No strings," Ethan echoed, amusement lacing his tone. "Just make sure you're ready." A rustle, a faint gasp. Kisses quick and hushed. "Not here," Evelyn whispered sharply. "Office walls are thin." Ethan laughed softly. "Just a preview." The chair scraped again, and he left. Lucas yanked out his earbuds, his chest tight. Evelyn's words echoed. Strategic, no strings. She'd reduced their marriage to a transaction. He wanted to call her, to scream, but anger wouldn't fix this. He needed evidence, leverage, a way to turn her betrayal against her. He opened her phone's contact list, still synced to their shared cloud from last night's discovery. Ethan's number was there, but another caught his eye. Mia, Ethan's wife, listed from company event. Lucas hesitated, then dialed. "Hello." Mia's voice was sharp, guarded. Mia. "This is Lucas, Evelyn's husband." He kept his tone even professional. "I need to talk about something serious. It involves Ethan and my wife." A long pause. "Go on," she said, cold and now. Lucas laid it out. The texts, the hotel plan, the audio from Evelyn's purse. "I recorded them today. They're meeting Friday at the Fairmont. I want you to have the proof." He sent her a sample clip, Ethan's voice unmistakable. "I'm not asking you to trust me blindly. Listen, then decide." Mia's breathing was audible, tense. "Send me everything," she said finally. "If this is real, I'm not letting it slide." "I'll get you the rest," Lucas said. "But there's more. I want them caught in the act. You in?" Another pause, then a steely yes. "Tell me how." Lucas outlined the plan. Mia would check into the Fairmont early, book a room nearby, and wait for the right moment to confront them. He'd feed her live audio from the recorder to time it perfectly. "Room 1407, 8 p.m., he confirmed. "I'll send you the full audio before then. If you record the confrontation, it'll be undeniable." "I'm not just recording," Mia said, her voice like ice. "I'm sending it to their CEO. They'll both lose everything." Lucas exhaled, a mix of relief and dread. "Deal. I'll handle my end." Over the next 2 days, Lucas played his part flawlessly. He kissed Evelyn goodbye each morning, his smile masking the storm inside. She didn't suspect the recorder in her purse, still transmitting every call, every whisper. At work, Lucas listened as she laughed with Ethan over lunch, planning their big night. Each word hardened his resolve. He sent Mia daily updates, including a second audio clip where Evelyn confirmed the hotel booking and Ethan promised, "This seals the deal. Ev, you're in." Thursday night, Evelyn came home late, humming as she dropped her purse. "Big day tomorrow," she said, kissing Lucas's cheek. "Work event might run late." "Sound important," he replied, his voice neutral. "Good luck." She smiled, oblivious, and headed to bed. Lucas waited, then checked the recorder's feed. It was still active, battery strong. He forwarded the latest audio to Mia, who replied instantly. "Got it. Tomorrow, they're done." Lucas lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling. Evelyn slept beside him, her breathing soft, unaware of the trap closing around her. He wasn't just fighting for himself anymore. He was fighting for clarity, for justice. Tomorrow would change everything, and he was ready. Friday night. Evelyn heads to the Fairmont Hotel. Unaware, Lucas's recorder captures her every move. His alliance with Mia, Ethan's furious wife, is set to expose the affair. As Evelyn and Ethan settle into room 1407, Mia prepares to strike, phone ready to record their downfall. Will their confrontation shatter the cheater's plans, or will Evelyn's cunning slip her through the trap? Lucas sat in his darkened home office, the live feed from the recorder crackling through his earbuds. It was 7:53 p.m. Friday, and Evelyn's voice came through clear. She was at the Fairmont Hotel, her heels clicking on the lobby floor as she checked in. Room 1407, booked under Evelyn Carter, she told the desk clerk, her tone polished, professional. Lucas's jaw tightened. She sounded like she was closing a deal, not betraying their marriage. The elevator dinged, and her footsteps echoed down a hallway. A door clicked open, then shut. "Nice," Evelyn muttered, likely scanning the room. Lucas pictured her moving with that calculated confidence she always had, the kind that once made him proud. Now it made his stomach churn. He texted Mia. "She's in. You set?" Mia's reply was instant. Checked in across the hall. "Ready." Minutes ticked by. At 8:07 p.m., Ethan's voice broke through the feed, smooth and smug. "You outdid yourself, Ev. This place is perfect." A rustle, a soft laugh from Evelyn. "Only the best for promotion, right?" she teased. Lucas's fingers gripped his phone, knuckles white. Their casual banter was a blade, each word slicing deeper. "To new heights," Ethan said, the clink of glasses suggesting a toast. Then, quieter. "You're sure about this?" "Positive," Evelyn replied, her voice firm. "One night, one step up. No complications." Lucas's heart pounded, but he stayed focused, forwarding the live audio to Mia. She needed to hear every damning word. Across town, Mia sat in her own hotel room, door 1408, her phone glowing as she watched the feed. Her breathing was steady, but her hands trembled with rage. She'd arrived at 7:15 p.m., checking in discreetly, her room directly across from 1407. She turned off the lights, silenced her notifications, and waited, the weight of Ethan's betrayal fueling her resolve. Lucas's audio clips had already confirmed her worst fears. Now she wanted proof that would ruin him. At 8:19 p.m., the feed turned intimate. Rustling fabric, a stifled giggle, then Evelyn's voice, low and teasing. "Slow down, Ethan. We got time." Lucas yanked out one earbud, his breath shallow. He didn't need to hear more to know what was happening. He texted Mia. Now, Mia didn't hesitate. She grabbed her phone, started recording, and stepped into the hallway. The carpet muffled her steps as she reached room 1407. She knocked, 3 sharp raps that echoed through Lucas's feed. Silence followed. Evelyn's voice, tense, broke through. "Who's that?" Ethan muttered something inaudible, then louder. "Probably housekeeping." "Ignore it." Mia knocked again, harder. "Open the door, Ethan," she called, her voice like steel. "I know you're in there, and I know who's with you." Lucas heard the scramble, footsteps, a muffled curse from Ethan. The door creaked open, and Mia's voice surged through the feed. "You thought I wouldn't find out?" she snapped. Lucas could imagine her standing there, phone raised, capturing every second. Evelyn stammered, "Mia, this isn't." "Don't." Mia cut her off. "You're sleeping with my husband for a promotion, Evelyn. It's pathetic." Ethan tried to interject, his voice shaky. "Mia, let's talk about this." "Talk." Mia laughed, bitter and sharp. "This is going straight to HR and the CEO. You're both finished." The feed picked up Evelyn's panicked breathing, then a rustle as she scrambled for cover. Mia didn't stop. "Smile for the camera. Ethan. You too, Evelyn." This video's going viral at your precious company. Lucas heard the faint hum of Mia's phone, recording every humiliating moment. Ethan pleaded, "Mia, please, we can work this out." "No," she said, final. "You don't get to come home. Ever." The door slammed, the sound reverberating through the feed. Lucas exhaled, his hands unsteady. Mia texted, "Got it all. Sending to their CEO now." He leaned back, the weight of the moment sinking in. Evelyn and Ethan thought they could play a game with no consequences. Now, the game was over, and they'd lost. But Lucas wasn't done. He opened his laptop, pulling up the divorce papers he'd prepared with his lawyer earlier that week. The confrontation was just the beginning. His next move would seal their fate. Mia's video of Evelyn and Ethan's hotel scandal spreads like wildfire, reaching their company CEO. As the fallout begins, Lucas executes his plan. Divorce papers ready, finances secured, and Evelyn's world crumbling. She returns home, unaware her access is cut off. Will her pleas sway Lucas, or has her betrayal sealed her fate in a life unraveling faster than she can grasp? Lucas stared at his phone, the recorder's feed now silent. It was 9:14 p.m. and Mia's text confirmed the bomb had dropped. Video sent to CEO. HR's already looping in. He leaned back in his chair, the weight of the night settling like code compiling after a long debug. Evelyn and Ethan's betrayal was exposed, and the consequences were barreling toward them. But Lucas wasn't just a bystander. He'd been planning his own moves since he found those texts. Earlier that week, while Evelyn slept, Lucas had met with a divorce lawyer in a quiet Seattle cafe. He'd laid out everything: the texts, the audio, his suspicions. The lawyer, a sharp woman named Clara, drafted papers in record time, citing infidelity and irreconcilable differences. Lucas had also visited their bank, setting up a new account in his name only. He transferred half their joint savings, enough to protect himself without crossing legal lines. The apartment's smart lock code was changed, and Evelyn's access to their shared accounts was frozen. Clara assured him it was all above board. "You're not punishing her," she'd said. "You're securing your future." Now, with Mia's videos circulating, Lucas finalized his plan. He packed Evelyn's essentials, clothes, toiletries, her laptop, into 2 suitcases and left them in the garage. The divorce papers, signed and notarized, sat in an envelope on the kitchen counter. His phone buzzed with another message from Mia. CEO's furious. "Emergency meeting tomorrow." "They're done." Lucas nodded to himself. The corporate fallout would be swift, but his personal closure was already in motion. At 10:47 p.m., the recorder picked up again, Evelyn's car starting, her breathing uneven. She was leaving the Fairmont, likely reeling from Mia's confrontation. Lucas listened as she muttered to herself. This wasn't supposed to happen. The drive was short, and soon her key fob beeped in their apartment building's garage. Footsteps, then the click of the front door's keypad. A pause. Another click. What the hell? Evelyn's voice was sharp, confused. The new code locked her out. She knocked, rapid and insistent. "Lucas? Open the door." He walked to the door, but didn't open it. Through the wood, he spoke, his voice steady. "Check the envelope under the door. Your bags are in the garage." A rustle as she grabbed the envelope, then a gasp. "Divorce papers?" "Lucas, wait, let's talk." "You made your choice," he said, his tone cold but calm. "You called it strategic. I call it betrayal. Your stuff's packed. Leave." "Lucas, please." Her voice cracked, desperate. "I did this for us, for our future. It was just one night." He clenched his fists, her words echoing the audio he'd heard. Calculated, unapologetic. "You did it for yourself," he said. "Take your bags and go." The recorder caught her pacing, then a sob as she grabbed the suitcases from the garage. Her car door slammed, and the engine roared to life. Lucas sat back down, exhaling. His phone lit up with an email from Clara. "Papers ready to file tomorrow. Bank transfers confirmed. You're clear." He felt no triumph, only a quiet resolve. He'd protected what mattered, his dignity, his future. Meanwhile, Evelyn drove aimlessly through Seattle's rain-slicked streets. She called Ethan, her voice trembling through the recorder. "Did they see the video?" Ethan's reply was curt, defeated. "CEO called. We're fired. Both of us." Evelyn's breath hitched. "What do we do now?" "There's no we," Ethan snapped. "You brought this on us. Figure it out." The call ended. Evelyn tried a friend, Lisa, who answered reluctantly. You can crash on my couch, Lisa said, her tone heavy with pity. But Ev, that video's everywhere. People are talking. Evelyn didn't respond, the weight of her choices crushing her. She pulled into Lisa's driveway, the recorder catching the faint sound of her crying as she cut the engine. Back at the apartment, Lucas opened his laptop, checking the company's internal forum. Screenshots of Mia's confrontational video were already circulating, tagged with HR's official statement. Immediate termination for violation of ethical conduct. Evelyn's name was mud, her ambition reduced to a scandal. Ethan's reputation, once golden, was equally tarnished. Lucas closed the laptop, his mind clear. The trap had worked, but this wasn't about revenge. It was about justice. Evelyn had gambled their marriage for a promotion. Now she lost both. Evelyn's career and marriage lie in ruins after Mia's video exposes her affair. Jobless and alone, she faces the wreckage of her choices. Lucas, now free, rebuilds his life with quiet strength. As the scandal ripples through their world, will Evelyn find redemption, or will her betrayal define her? Lucas knows one truth. Justice, not vengeance, sets you free. Lucas woke to the hum of Seattle's morning traffic, the city alive outside his apartment window. It was 3 months since the Fairmont Hotel confrontation, and the air felt lighter, unburdened. The divorce was finalized last week. Evelyn hadn't contested it, her signature on the papers as shaky as her voice that night in the garage. Lucas had moved on, not with anger, but with clarity. He'd protected his future, and now he was building it. The scandal had erupted like a digital wildfire. Mia's video, raw and unedited, hit the company's internal forums within hours of her confrontation. By morning, HR had terminated Evelyn and Ethan for violating the firm's ethics code. The CEO's email was blunt, conduct unbecoming of leadership. Screenshots leaked to industry chats, and whispers of the affair spread across Seattle's tight-knit marketing scene. Evelyn's name, once tied to ambition, was now a cautionary tale. Ethan's golden reputation as a charismatic leader was equally shattered, his LinkedIn profile dormant, his job applications unanswered. Lucas, meanwhile, thrived. He'd taken a new role at a startup downtown, his coding skills in high demand. The work was fast-paced, creative, and left no room for dwelling on the past. He'd started running again. His morning jogs along the Puget sounded a quiet ritual to clear his mind. Last week, he'd gone on a date. Nothing serious, just coffee with a graphic designer named Nora. Her easy laugh and sharp wit felt like a glimpse of something new. For the first time in months, Lucas felt possibility, not pain. Evelyn's life, by contrast, had unraveled. She'd moved into Lisa's spare room, sleeping on a couch, her belongings still in suitcases. Job interviews were scarce. Her resume, once impressive, was tainted by the scandal. Recruiters ghosted her after quick Google searches. She tried calling Ethan, hoping for a lifeline, but he'd blocked her number. "You're toxic now," Lisa overheard him say in a voicemail before he cut contact. Evelyn's family, once supportive, kept their distance, their texts curt and judgmental. "You made your bed," her sister wrote. "Fix it." One evening, Evelyn sat at Lisa's kitchen table, scrolling through job boards. The recorder, long since discarded, had been found in her purse weeks ago, a bitter reminder of Lucas's plan. She didn't blame him, not fully. She crossed the line, convinced it was a calculated risk. Now the cost was clear. No job, no marriage, no stability. She applied to a low-level marketing role in Portland, a fresh start far from Seattle's gossip. The interview was tomorrow, a flicker of hope, but she knew rebuilding would take years. Mia, too, had moved forward. Her divorce from Ethan was nearly complete, her lawyer citing the video as undeniable evidence of infidelity. She'd kept her job at a rival firm, her reputation intact, even bolstered by her bold confrontation. Colleagues admired her resolve, and she'd started mentoring younger women in the industry, warning them about workplace power games. "Never trade your integrity," she'd say, her voice steady but laced with experience. Lucas learned of Evelyn's struggles through a mutual friend, but felt no urge to gloat. Her downfall wasn't his goal, freedom was. He'd acted with precision, not malice, ensuring the truth came to light without breaking laws or ethics. The recorder, the alliance with Mia, the swift divorce. They were steps to protect himself, not to destroy her. He thought back to their last dinner, her casual mention of playing the game. She'd gambled their trust for ambition. Now, she faced the consequences alone. One morning, as Lucas jogged along the waterfront, his phone buzzed with a text from Mia. Ethan's blacklisted from every major firm in town. Evelyn's gone quiet. You okay? He replied, better than ever. Thanks for having my back. He pocketed his phone, the salty breeze sharp against his skin. The city stretched before him, vibrant and full of promise. He didn't need revenge. Evelyn and Ethan's choices had punished them enough. Justice, he realized, was about moving forward, not looking back. As he slowed to a walk, Lucas reflected on the past. He'd loved Evelyn once, believed in their shared dreams. But she'd chosen a path that broke them. Now he was a different man, not bitter, but resolute. He deserved loyalty, respect, a life untainted by betrayal. The scandal had burned away the illusions, leaving only truth. And in that truth, Lucas found freedom.